Community Day is coming up, and I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, all of our Community Day Pokemon are coming back, all the exclusive moves. So if you missed a move, if you missed a Community Day Pokemon, you got another chance.
Exactly. Niantic has blessed us with now being able to get these Community Day moves. PvP wasn't out when some of these specific Pokemon had those Community Day moves and you weren't ready. But now they've given you this opportunity to be able to get these moves for when you want to do PvP tournaments, but also with Go Battle League coming out as well. That's going to be huge, and you want to be prepared.
And we're going to tell you guys what you guys need. Alright, we're going to explain exactly what is going on this Community Day, because there are a little bit of semantics, something we need to know, because there's certain Pokemon you can catch, some Pokemon that you can only evolve to get their moves. And so we're going to explain exactly how it's going on.
Exactly, and not only that, but we're also going to explain which IVs are the best IVs to have for each specific Pokemon. Again, you don't have to have these IVs, it's just the ones that you're looking for, so use this as a source during your Community Day. Write these specific IVs down in your notes so you keep note of exactly what you're going to be needing.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know, there's certain Pokemon you can catch on Community Day, which are only the 2019 Pokemon. So these are Pokemon like Sceptile, Swampert, Blaziken, Gardevoir, Gallade, Flygon, Torterra, and obviously their pre-evolutions. These are the Pokemon that are going to be increased spawn, and they're the Pokemon that you can catch. Exactly. But then there's certain Pokemon you can only evolve to get their certain moves. So what are these Pokemon, John?
Those are the 2018 Pokemon.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Gen 1 and Gen 2. We're talking about Charizard, Tyranitar, Blastoise, Venusaur, right? All these specific Pokemon that you have seen in the Silph Arena, they're going to be coming back. If you don't have a good IV one, here's your chance to be able to re-roll, have maybe those Bulbasaurs, right? Those Bulbasaurs, those Charmanders that you had with such great IVs that you just kept in the back, knowing that they were such high-ranked PvP Pokemon, but you just couldn't get those exclusive moves. Now you have the chance to be able to get those.
Yeah, so the 2018 Pokemon, you can't catch them, but you can get their exclusive moves. So if you have a Charmeleon ready, evolve it, and you can get Blastburn Charizard. But, you know, there are 2019 Pokemon that you can go out and catch.
That's right. And now we're going to be going into a list of showing you exactly what Pokemon that you're going to be needing to be PvP ready. Alrighty, so for number one, we want to talk about the Pokemon that you have the opportunity to catch. You weren't able to participate in these Community Days. Here's the time to be able to catch these Pokemon and get those final evolutions with those Community Day moves.
Yep, these are the 2019 Pokemon, and the first up is Sceptile.
Sceptile.
And we got the IVs. The perfect IVs you want are going to be 0, 12, and 15.
That's right. So now our order when we're going with IVs is going to be attack, defense, HP. So remember that, guys. Every time we say an IV name, it's going to be attack, defense, HP.
And the exclusive move you can get on Sceptile is going to be Frenzy Plant.
That's right.
What else do you want to run?
Now with Frenzy Plant, you also could run Aerial Ace, you can run Earthquake, you can run Dragon Claw. The choices are yours, but Frenzy Plant is not the best grass move for Sceptile in PvP.
Leaf Blade is a very good move, but the thing is, you want to keep this handy. You know, you want to, if Frenzy Plant somehow in the meta, in Silph Arena, maybe in Go League, somehow Frenzy Plant is better, you're going to want it on hand, right?
That's right. Leaf Blade is the better move, but you also want to have a Frenzy Plant one ready for just in case purposes.
Yep, so the fast move, probably going to be Fury Cutter, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be Fury Cutter, it's going to have that grass coverage now that you have the bug fast move, and then you're also going to have those amazing flying grass or ground, but you'll also have that grass charge move that's gonna hit like a truck.
And the next Pokemon on our list is going to be Swampert, and Swampert is one of the big boys, guys. You want him on your PvP team, trust me. And our IVs are going to be 0, 14, 14.
That's right. Swampert is going to have Mud Shot, Hydro Cannon, and Earthquake, or maybe even Sludge Wave.
Maybe, but you're definitely going to want Hydro Cannon. I don't know if you guys use Swampert in PvP, but that Hydro Cannon hits hard. You can get to it very quickly. You really do want it.
Swampert wasn't even really PvP really eligible. He was, but he wasn't good, right? Before Hydro Cannon. Now that he has Hydro Cannon, he's become the top-notch Mudboy. So now you want one. You have to make sure during this community day you get a Swampert.
Definitely hunt down those Swamperts, guys. Get a good IV one. It's going to be really good on your team.
Absolutely.
And the next Pokemon we got is going to be Blaziken, and its IV spread is going to be 1-15-15. And what moves are we running, John?
Alright, so with Blaziken, it's actually a little bit interesting. Blaziken actually got 2 specific moves during its community day, and obviously you could still get one of the moves today, but the one big move that you want for Blaziken is going to be Blast Burn.
Yeah.
Blaziken also learned Blaze Kick, and along with Counter as its fast move, it makes Blaziken a huge threat, one of the top-notch fighters in Pokemon Go PvP.
Yeah. So you think they're going to want Blaziken with Blast Burn and Blaze Kick?
Yeah, absolutely. I would run Blaze Kick to be able to bust shields and also do some fire damage, and then Blast Burn for those heavy hitting, shields are down, truck of a move.
Yeah, because Blaze Kick is easier to get to in terms of energy, and Blast Burn harder to get to, but definitely hits harder.
Exactly.
55 Blaze Kick, 110 power Blast Burn.
That's right. As you saw right there, 110 on Blast Burn is crazy.
Get your guys, get a torch chick, all right? Hunt for those little birds. And the next Pokemon we got is gonna be Gardevoir, the elegant, majestic, beautiful Gardevoir. And the IV spread you're gonna want is 0-15-15. And what moves are we running?
For Gardevoir, you're gonna be running either Charm as a fast move,
Charm is a crazy move, guys.
Yeah.
Very charming.
Especially with Gen 5, having a lot of Pokemon that are weak to Charm or to Fairy in general, right? You're gonna definitely want Charm on your Gardevoir, or maybe even Confusion. It really depends on the meta and what's gonna be surrounding it.
Yeah, this really is the definition of killing them kindly, because you are essentially killing your opponent by charming them. And the exclusive move is Synchronoise.
Synchronoise is definitely one of the better fast moves.
Yeah, it's not the best charge move. I have seen people running their Gardevoirs without Synchronoise, but it's definitely good to keep on hand, you guys.
Again, it's not the most best, maybe. I'm not 100% sure if it's the best, because now knowing that Psychic came into it,
buff. Yeah.
right? Got a huge buff. I think it really kind of killed off Synchronoise, but I would still get one if you don't have one under 1500. Along with Shadow Ball, it's gonna be huge.
Just in case. You don't know. Synchronoise could get a buff, Psychic could get a debuff. I would keep one just in case.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful Pokemon, let's be honest. And speaking of Gardevoir, we want its little brother, I guess, or older brother, I don't know.
How do you know who's older?
It's the male version.
How do you know who's older?
Let's move on.
How do you know who's older?
Gallade. You're going to want an IV spread of 0-15-15.
Just like Gardevoir.
Just like Gardevoir.
Yeah.
And what moves? You're going to have to make the difficult decision if you get a perfect one. Do I want a Gardevoir? Do I want a Gallade? What do you think they should go for?
Both. 100%.
They're both good, honestly.
Both, yeah.
It'd be a tough decision.
Absolutely. One is going to be one Psychic Fairy.
Psychic Fairy, and Gallade is Psychic Fighting.
Right? So it all depends on the meta, which one's going to be better. It's going to have Charm, it's going to have Leaf Blade, it's going to have Close Combat. So those are 3 completely different moves. It also has Confusion.
Yeah.
It also has Confusion, just like Gardevoir. So again, it's a huge, broad typings in its movesets.
Yeah. And the next Pokemon we got is going to be Flygon. And Flygon Earth Power is pretty good, right?
Yep.
What else? What are we running on it? I mean, its IVs are going to be 0-15-9, which is kind of different, but yeah, 0-15-9. Look for that, guys.
Right? You're going to have Mud Shot as its fast move, and then you're also going to have Dragon Claw. Mud Shot and Dragon Claw together is huge. You get to those Dragon Claws so quick, and you're definitely going to want this on your team. Community Day, you're going to be able to get a bunch of them, so try to get a good IV spread and then be able to use Dragon Claw and Earth Power. Now, with this specific Pokemon, I would try to make 2. I would try to have one with Mud Shot, Dragon Claw, and Earth Power, and then I also want to have one with Mud Shot, Dragon Claw, and Earthquake.
Yeah, it's just generally it's a good idea on these communities to generally get like a bunch of good IV'd Pokemon, because you're gonna have to switch their moves around, and you know you're gonna have to keep the other move. You don't want to get rid of community day moves, right? So just try to get as many good IVs as you can.
Absolutely.
The next Pokemon we got is Torterra, and Torterra hasn't had much of a time to shine, but it has that unique typing, and it's good to get its time to shine. don't worry.
It will.
And IV spread is going to be 0, 13, 13. And what moves are you running?
Alright, so with Torterra, the problem that Torterra had prior to Community Day is that all its charge moves require a lot of energy to be able to get to them. You have Earthquake, you have Stone Edge, right? But now you have added Frenzy Plant, which is a move that requires less energy than the other moves.
Yeah, Razor Leaf is not a move that develops a lot of energy. It is it hits hard, but doesn't give you a lot of energy. So Frenzy Plant does have that, like, it's a little lower.
Exactly.
So it does help Torterra a lot.
Definitely makes Torterra even higher in the PvP rankings.
Yeah. And the next Pokemon we got is not a final evolution and not a Pokemon that you need a Community Day move for, but it is a very good PvP Pokemon, and it is a Pokemon that you're gonna want good IVs for. It's Vigoroth.
Yeah.
And you're gonna want a 1-15-15 IV spread Vigoroth. And what moves are we gonna run?
With Vigoroth, you're gonna be running Counter, Body Slam, and Bulldoze, right? The thing about Vigoroth, like Dustin said, is that it is not a Community Day Pokemon. It's actually Slacking, that's the Community Day Pokemon, but because there's going to be an increased spawn of Slackoth, you're going to want to try to get a good IV spread for that Vigoroth. And again, not just that, but we also have the next Pokemon that is going to be the same type of concept.
Yep. Next Pokemon is going to be Shellgun, and this one you don't necessarily need the Community Day move if you want to get into PvP. It's not the greatest. Draco Meteor.
Right.
It's not the greatest.
Nope.
But you're going to want a Shellgun because Shellgun has been very meta relevant and has been very good in Great League PvP.
Yeah, it's actually great right now because of the Timeless Cup.
Timeless Cup. You should get one if you want to do some Timeless Cup. The IV spread is going to be 1-15-14. And what moves are we running?
With Shellgun, you're going to be running Dragon Breath, Twister, and Flamethrower.
Twister's one of the moves you kind of forget. You don't see it often.
Yeah, you're not used to using Twister, but it's decent, right?
Yeah, it's a good Dragon Pokemon, great for Great League.
Right, you'll get to Twister a lot faster than you're going to get to Dragon Pulse.
Yeah.
So definitely Shellgun is going to be top notch. Now again guys, before we go into the next part of our video where we're going to be talking about the Pokemon that you are able to not able to catch, but you have to be able to evolve to be able to get these specific movesets. Quickly, before we start confusing you guys with the IVs, these IVs are basically the best IV spread you can have for those specific Pokemon. Not necessarily saying that if you don't really care, right, it doesn't make a huge difference. Just try to get something that has a low attack stat, like as close to 0 as possible, with a very high defense and HP stat.
Yeah, of course. We're not recommending that these IV Pokemon are going to be the greatest and you need these IVs. It's just that these are the best possible IVs you can get. Not saying that another Shellgun can't do the job for you.
Exactly.
And so the next Pokemon we're going to talk about is Charizard. And Charizard is a 2018 Pokemon like the rest we're going to be presenting, which means it's not going to be available in spawns. It is going to be available in raids, but you can't really get PvP Pokemon from raids because their attack is too high.
Exactly. Now you're going to want to do some of these raids if you have the chance and trade with a friend who you don't have great friendship with in game.
If you have low friendship with someone that you know, then it decreases the chance of attack being high.
Exactly. The better friendship that you have, the higher chance of your Pokemon's IVs being higher. So therefore you want to do a trade with somebody who you have low friendship with, so that way you can be able to get these lower attack, higher defense and HP stats.
Yeah, like you and I. You're like, I don't know, I guess I hang out with you a lot, but I wouldn't say we're great friends.
It's not like we're best friends in game.
I have better friends down the street somewhere.
Down the street.
Anyways, Charizard. The IV spread we're gonna want is 0, 15, 13. And what are the moves?
Alright, so we all know Charizard, he's my homie, right? He always comes clutch. Anytime I'm able to use him in a Silph Arena Cup, I will use him.
Yeah.
And he's going to be running Fire Spin, Blast Burn, and Dragon Claw. Now there is also a different variant. You can also run it with Air Slash, so that way you're running a flying fast move.
Yep.
Right. But again, guys, Dragon Claw charges up very fast, and Blast Burn hits like a truck.
Yeah, Charizard does have a bunch of legacy moves. Wing Attack Charizard. You don't know what people are going to be running, but you're definitely going to want one Blast Burn. I think it's one of the best movesets for Charizard.
Absolutely. If you don't have a Legacy Legacy Charizard, you're definitely going to want the Blast Burn.
Yeah, and this next Pokemon, I don't see it very often in PvP. It's been relevant a couple times, but this one was very early, so we didn't know we needed it for PvP. We just wanted it for raids because it's one of the best rate Pokemon out there.
That's right.
It's gonna be Tyranitar, and the IV spread
Tyranitar.
we're gonna want is 0, 15, 15. And what moves are we running?
With Tyranitar, you're gonna be running Smackdown, Stone Edge, and Crunch.
Right.
Or you can also run Flamethrower. I think it's Flamethrower or Fire Blast. One of those. I think it's Fire Blast, actually.
Probably Fire Blast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fire Blast. But again, it all depends. But the main thing that you want here, because it's different from the other community days, is that Tyranitar's community day move is actually its fast move. So therefore, you're going to want to have Smackdown to be able to attack those flyers, right?
Remember
the
that,
ice type,
guys.
the grass type.
If you want the exclusive move on your Tyranitar, it's the fast move.
That's right.
Not the charge move. Don't be TMing anything.
Nope.
And the next Pokemon is going to be Blastoise, one of our Kanto starters. He's really cool. And it's going to be 1, 15, 15. And if you recall, Blastoise Community Day was cool because it had that sunglasses form, which they never brought back. I don't know why. It was cool.
Who knows if they're going to bring it back in December? We're not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
But again, Blastoise is going to be running Water Gun, Ice Beam, and Hydro Cannon.
Yep, and like we said before, Hydro Cannon is a great move. Not as great as it is on Swampert because Swampert has that Mud Shot which gets it to Hydro Cannon so quickly. Blastoise does take its time getting to Hydro Cannon with Water Gun.
Exactly. Again, guys, with these community moves, specifically the 3 elements, Blast Burn, Hydro Cannon, and Frenzy Plant, those moves are OP.
They're great.
You need them. 100%. You want to do PvP, you need these specific movesets on those Pokemon.
Yeah. The next Pokemon is going to be something that everybody wanted in the Ferocious Cup, still for this Ferocious Cup, but we had no idea that we were going to need a Last Resort Umbreon. Did you know when that community day was out that we would need one?
I did not know that we were going to need one, but I got one.
I got one. I traded one.
Yeah.
You got one yourself?
I made one. Yeah, it's right there.
He's a thinker. I had to trade one because we didn't know we needed a Last Resort Umbreon under 1500. Who would have predicted that?
And there it is. Umbreon is a tank, and now with its buff fast move Snarl, right, it gets to these charge moves so much quicker, and Last Resort doing amazing neutral damage, and then also along with Foul Play, huge.
That's definitely why you want Last Resort, guys, because without Last Resort, Umbreon only has dark moves, and so if you're going against something that resists dark, you're gonna kind of lose.
Exactly. You want more coverage with Last Resort.
And the IV spread you're gonna want is 0, 15, 15. Our next Pokemon is another evolution, so make sure you hunt down those Ivies. You're gonna need more than one. We got Vaporeon, which is also a big pick for the Ferocious Cup. You're gonna want an IV spread of 1, 15, 15. And what movesets are we doing?
Vaporeon, you're gonna want to have Water Gun, Aqua Tail, and Last Resort.
Yep, another Last Resort user.
Exactly. That's all the EV evolutions. All the EV evolutions are going to be coming with Last Resort.
Yeah.
Personally, I would try to make every single evolution with Last Resort. You never know when they're going to become viable.
I've been testing Jolteon a couple times in a couple cups. Jolteon with Thundershock, Discharge, Last Resort. It's pretty good.
It's decent. It's super glossy, but you gotta be careful. It all depends.
Yeah.
Right?
But it might be a good idea to get all of them. Not gonna lie, Sylphrina cups can be tricky. Sometimes they have weird rules, and some of these Pokemon like Espeon and Glaceon, who knows? They might be
never
relevant.
know.
Yeah. So if you could, I would just hunt down every Eevee I see. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
And the next Pokemon is gonna be Meganium. We're gonna want an IV spread of 0, 10, 15. And what moves are we running?
Meganium, you're gonna be running Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Earthquake. Again, Meganium having Frenzy Plant is huge, alongside with Earthquake for coverage. Meganium is going to be one of the top-notch grass types. Yes, Venusaur is the better grass type, which we're going to get into after, but Meganium is the one grass type you can use with Frenzy Plant that doesn't have a poison typing.
There are rare cases where you do want to use Meganium instead of Venusaur because of that poison typing. Not to mention Meganium is Earthquake, which could come in handy for it.
It could.
And the next Pokemon we got is going to be Typhlosion, and right now J-Farm doesn't appear to have a very great Typhlosion. It's over 1500, but it does have the community.
I never bothered because I never thought it was going to be relevant for PvP.
Yeah, it's not the most relevant.
Right,
you know?
But it could be used in a specific way to be synchronized with your team.
It has an interesting move set.
Yeah.
And the IV spread we're going to want is 0, 15, 13. And what moves are we running? We don't have them on screen, but what moves
you're going to be running Shadow Claw, Blast Burn, and Solar Beam.
Yeah. And it's an interesting moveset because, I mean, it's a fire type with a ghost fast move.
That's right.
And then a grass charge move.
Yeah, especially if you're going up against another another ghost user.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna be able to take down that ghost user no problem with no weakness.
Yeah.
Right, and also have a blast burn ready for anything that comes in, or a solar beam for one of those shields down, or sneaky charge moves against the water types.
I want to see someone solar beam a Swampert very badly.
That'd be OP.
Anyways, we've got one of the most important Pokemon
And our last Pokemon.
Save the best for last, guys. It's Venusaur, running an IV spread of 0, 14, 11.
That's right. Venusaur is going to be running Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Sludge Bomb.
This is pretty much the moveset you want on most of your Venusaurs. You could switch Vine Whip with Razor Leaf if you want to do that hard, fast move damage, but Vine Whip charges more energy, so you're going to get the Frenzy Plant a lot faster.
That's the thing, when it comes to Venusaur, his main thing is that he has that Community Day charge move, Frenzy Plant, and that's why you're going to want Vine Whip, because Vine Whip will be able to get to those Frenzy Plants a lot quicker.
Yep.
Pokemon like Victory Bell makes more sense to be running Razor Leaf due to him not having that Community Day Frenzy Plant move.
Yep, and that's our list, guys. So make sure you remember these Pokemon. Make sure on December's Community Day you go out and hunt these Pokemon. Make sure you get a lot of Ivies. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Right. You want to get a lot of these Pokemon. You want to try to get as many best stat distributions as possible, so that way you can evolve a bunch of these. Again, guys, grind this day. Those 2 days, you want to grind as much as possible. You want to get as many as you can, right? You go through the first day, catch everything. Just catch everything. Don't delete nothing. Make sure you have a lot of storage space, right? Keep those. Throughout that night, start sorting through them. Once you finish sorting through them, the next day during the Community Day, you can start evolving. Yeah. Then do the same thing again the next day.
That's good advice. We know it's annoying and tedious to go through all the Pokemon IVs, but it will be worth it, guys, if you find, oh, I have a rank 1 Gallade. Well, where did that come from? Awesome.
Right, and if you do end up not having a good IV spread, right, you can always be with your friend and start trading that night.
You can get a good IV spread. And just to reiterate, you do not need these IVs specifically. If you have one that's like rank 100, rank 200, they're still good, you know?
That's right.
They're still awesome.
You don't need the #1 ranking, but again, as long as you have something with super low attack, high defense HP, you should be pretty good with that specific Pokemon.
Remember that, guys. Low attack, high HP, high defense. And if you don't understand how to read IVs, there is a lot of good videos on YouTube. I believe Zionic has a good IV explanation. I believe King IV has a good IV explanation because he's the king of IVs.
I like it.
And yeah, so we didn't get into IVs in this video, but there's a lot online.
That's right. You want to look into specific in-depth ways of telling IVs, go check out those videos. But if you want the simplest way to explain it, literally just press appraise. It'll show you a little chart and it'll say the attack, defense, HP.
You kind of just read that number, you know?
Right? You want a low attack, high defense, high HP.
Yeah.
Simple. Alright guys, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. If you want to compliment us the best way possible, it is to click that subscribe button down below right here.
Yeah, if you want to support the PvP creators, just give us a little subscription. It really means a lot to us.
It's absolutely free too.
Yeah.
And make sure you let us know down in the comments what you think of this video, if you want videos like this more often.
Yeah. Let us know if you guys think there's other Community Day Pokemon we didn't mention, if there's the evolutions, like what do you guys think will be relevant with terms of the Eevees?
Absolutely, and if you have some specific Pokemon that you have, right, just send us a picture on Twitter.
Hell yeah, send us those beautiful IVs.
Gotta love seeing those rank 1s on Twitter.
Yeah.
Alright, and finally, good luck on your Community Days, and we'll see you guys on the next one.